Paying attention to detail, doing it right, taking care of equipment, knowing where you are at all times, communication, preventing mistakes, knowing what to do when things start going wrong. For climbers and guides who are exhilarated by reaching new peaks, these things are critical to the success or failure of a climb and the safety of everyone involved. For people who produce pharmaceutical products, these things are essential as well. The lives of those taking the drugs you help make depend on your doing things right each and every time. In the next couple of days, you'll watch two experienced guides taking a brand new climber into the Canadian Rockies. You'll recognize a lot of similarities between what they do to safely reach their goals and what you do as you manufacture safe, pure, and effective products.
Going into the mountains balances things out for me. It balances my life out. It comes down to basics. It comes down to being alive. It comes down to looking at the view and stopping to think about things.
It's escapism. I mean, I'm away and I'm focusing on basic needs, where the next water is, where my food's coming from, keeping warm, keeping dry, basic systems that it makes life simple and you can focus on the important things.
As a guide, you need two sets of skills. You need technical skills, and you also need what we term soft skills, which is dealing with people. If you have technical skills and you have bad people skills, it's not going to work.
You really need to be intuitive and be very aware and constantly checking in with each member of the group to see where they're at, see where they are physically, and even more importantly, emotionally, because once people start shutting down emotionally, everything else it snowballs.
If you can't read what's happening with a group of people, you won't see where an accident is coming from, a potential accident.
Some of those things can be really subtle. It can be something as subtle as a student not feeling comfortable going to the can in the bush, and then you have a constipated student. And that can be an emergency situation eventually. So you have to know physically what's going on with these people and where they're at, but you also need to know where their head and their heart's at as well.
Great. Yeah, feels good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have to be a role model in what you're doing, because if you're not a role model, you can't tell somebody to do something especially related to safety and then go and do the exact opposite. And as being a guide, people are looking up to you. They're looking at what you're doing. They're looking at how you're handling things. And they very often mirror the type of behavior that you're putting across.
You definitely have to walk your talk. You need to be consistent in your role modeling, and if you're not, then students are smart. They're going to see right through that.
What you're going to be doing is called sort of front pointing, where you're going to kick into the snow as you walk to create an angle. So if the slope is like this, every time you're kicking and you're forming a step, it's a flat step in the snow, as opposed to walking like that. And every time somebody else steps in that, it gets compacted down a little more, the sun heats it up, it ices under the compression, and it creates a bit of a ledge on each step. And what you want to make sure is you want the person behind you to has a responsibility to continue to form that step so that you're not blowing the step out. If the person behind me comes in and they're not paying attention, and they come and they step halfway through the step and they sort of blow it out, then it actually makes it harder to walk.
Good judgment in climbers comes from me demonstrating good judgment, role modeling. And I attempt to make anything that I'm doing in terms of instructing climbers a learning experience and trying to evaluate why I'm doing things, always second guessing that. And if I'm doing anything in terms of role modeling that doesn't have an outcome that is going to be beneficial to their learning experience, then I have to question why I'm doing it.